This is Dolany TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel today. My great pleasure to have you along as we get set up to discuss kind of in an overarching theme way what's been going on in Oilers land the past 3-4 days as we have seen the first few arbitration cases get settled. And now all of a sudden you've got maybe a squeeze on Ryan McLeod's contract. Not necessarily for McLeod anymore. It's a squeeze on the Oilers and what they can do with Bouchard and consequently what they can do with the rest of the roster. So friends, as we get set up to discuss all that, one name comes to mind for me. We'll discuss why in a matter of moments after we get through my little channel ad here. But Brett Kulak, think about him for a minute. Think about his position on that third pair. And let's discuss in a moment. But if you are new to the channel, I want you to consider hitting that subscribe button here on Dolany TV. Would love to have you aboard. I know the summer's been light, but I'm trying to keep it light so as I can enjoy a summer too before it gets back to come home 5 o'clock every night and get a video up, then live stream for 3 hours, then go to bed, do it all again tomorrow. So trying to take it a little more easy this summer, okay? Because I quite enjoyed summer last year when I didn't have to post a whole bunch either. So, okay, Brett Kulak, where are we standing? What are we thinking? Well, we heard earlier in the summer, a couple people chatter there in the Oilers media. Maybe Brett Kulak gets moved. Maybe he doesn't. Sounds like he's staying put. Why would they move him? Well, the cap hit and everything like that, right? So Brett Kulak, friends, a guy who's sitting on our third D pair right now, a contract that by all means made sense when we signed him. Don't kid yourself there. It was a good contract, and again, if the cap had gone up either of the past 2 years, it probably doesn't hurt you as bad as it does now. But 2.75 for the next 3 years. And what you need to understand is the Oilers employ a 7-defenseman style situation, but you've got Nurse, Ekholm, Ceci, Kulak, Desharnais, potentially Marcus Niemelainen, Evan Bouchard, and of course, Philip Broberg. Okay, that's your defensive core right now. Those are your top 8 defensemen. You need to pick 7 of them. You have an option to get rid of 1 for the cost savings, right? It don't matter who you're getting rid of, you can save cost. Obviously, you're not getting rid of Evan Bouchard, though. So when it comes down to it, you're looking at Ryan McLeod. We're now talking a lot this past 2 days since Kurashev got his deal. Looks like the Oilers have to pay McLeod 2.5. It's going to be 2.5. Why? We didn't plan for this. This is bad. Now Bouchard's getting squeezed. Wait, he's not going to take less. We're screwed. What the heck's going to happen, right? This is the conversations we're having. We're talking, well, this is why we need to pay Ryan McLeod. He's so special to the Oilers. He's a great thing. And it's on and on and on and on. But at the end of the day, I don't care about any of it because I don't care this is what he did last year. This is what he's going to do next year. No, it's all irrelevant to the numbers you need to make work for opening night in 2023 against the Canucks. That's the problem. Is right now, I don't care what paper says. I don't care what the guy did last year. I don't care what the guy's going to do next year or the rest of his career. Right now, we need to make the dollars make sense. And under the statement that Ryan McLeod's probably looking at 2.5 and Bouchard's still driving that hard 3.8 to 4 million, you're talking about cap space that you just don't physically have. You're in the negative by 200, 300, 400,000, somewhere in there. So all of a sudden you've just lost that little bit of cap savings you were going to accumulate over the course of the season to go into the trade deadline and buy a player, right? That was the idea. Buy a big guy. Get somebody that's going to punch the lineup same way Mattias Ekholm did and get us that Stanley Cup. Well, okay. So here's the problem. You look at the Oilers roster. We talked about Brett Kulak right off the start. Obviously, everybody's yelling at me, why not Foegele? Foegele. I'll tell you why not Foegele. Because you still need NHL-capable scoring forwards, and that is what Warren Foegele is. We talk about the 8 defensemen we have, okay? Whether you like Vinny Desharnais, whether you like Philip Broberg, whether you like Evan Bouchard, whether you like Brett Kulak or Cody Ceci, or Marcus Niemelainen, totally irrelevant, okay? Because you need to make the dollars work. And when you look at this all around, is Brett Kulak is $2.75 million against the cap. That's a huge number. You're talking about Ryan McLeod getting a $500,000 raise off of what we thought. And then you're talking as well about Mr. Evan Bouchard being able to get the contract he wants. So you're talking total spend $6.5 million. You go away from 300 in cap savings to negative about 300, 400 in cap. So, okay, how do we change that, right? You're looking at least 700,000 in cap savings. Trading Brett Kulak gives you 2.75. Guess what? You trade Brett Kulak, you can probably get a draft pick, low end, right? 6, 7 rounder, but hey, we'll take it. Oh, by the way, you can also get a serviceable fourth line center or a depth forward should you choose in a trade with Brett Kulak, right? Brett Kulak is a solid third pairing, decently paid defenseman that has value. Guy that elevates every playoff, guy that fights for his teammates, guy that you really like having on this roster. But when it comes down to it, you can afford to let him go because we need regular playing time for Philip Broberg, and it appears as such we will need regular playing time for Markus Niemelainen. So when you do all that, you go out there, spend the extra $700K on Bouchard and McLeod. Now you're down to $2 million saved by trading Brett Kulak. You get another forward that's worth 1.5, so you save $500K. You actually have now more cap space, even though it's minimal. You still have more cap space than you did before, and then bing, bang, boom, move forward one more step. You also get potentially a draft pick for Brett Kulak, right? There is a lot to like about a deal. Does it suck to lose Brett Kulak? Yes, it does. But if Philip Broberg is the player we think he is, he will outdo anything Brett Kulak was capable of, other than maybe chucking knuckles. But again, Philip Broberg's put on some weight the past 2 years. Who knows what he's going to do with those fists this year if he gets a little angry? Well, guess what? Bing, bang, boom, friends. Right there, you have an easy out if the Oilers are squeezed. Now, we reference back to a video I did a few weeks ago where I said all the pressure is on Ken Holland to win. Guess what? That pressure just got anteed up because now you got this McLeod mess that you got to figure out, and only guy that can do it is Ken Holland. So there is an easy out, is what I'm saying. You've got a chance, right? We've talked about trading Brett Kulak. We've talked about keeping him. We've talked about why you should, why you shouldn't. Well, I'm telling you, you can do a lot of things with this Oilers roster in terms of composition if you trade Brett Kulak, even though you're squeezed on McLeod and Bouchard. Friends, I'm Tyson. This is Stolony TV. It's that simple. I don't need to spend more time explaining it. It's very simple, right? Warren Foegele's a scoring forward. Keep him there. Let him keep scoring 12 goals this season. And we'll take the offensive punch in the lineup. We'll go get a fourth line winger or centerman for Brett Kulak. Draft pick added. Cap space, extra $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 against the cap. And away you go. It's a very simple mathematical equation. Trade Brett Kulak for a little something something. Take the cap space, sign McLeod, sign Bouchard, enjoy your afternoon, and get on with the summer. It's that simple, right? I'm saying. It is a very easy breakdown of how you could play it if you're the Edmonton Oilers. Obviously, this is one of many scenarios, but where I see problems, I'm looking for solutions, and that is one, friends. I'm Tyson Dolany TV, up on out of here. If I can find the stop button.